It's hard to get serious. All right. All right, for real. Mace Blanco from G's to Millions on 610. I don't need Clout the podcast. And I'm in here with my therapist today. He's
EJ,
taking
how you
notes.
doing? Where's my notebook?
Appreciate you being here, bro.
Yeah, man. Sure. Happy
All
to be
right.
here.
So, the first thing to discuss in our therapy session, what was it? Adult actress claims that she's having a hard time. Is it finding a spouse or just getting men in general?
Hard time just keeping men. Adult actresses have a hard time keeping men.
I'm crying.
I have no idea why.
When the therapist doesn't know, you're in bad shape.
Yeah, I guess when they tell you to go get help, it's just not there. It's too far gone. That's the only thing left to do is just keep doing what you were doing.
So, yeah, pay those bills. So why would a adult actress, a corn star, dorm star have a problem? Why would she have a problem keeping men?
Well, obviously her priorities are not straight. And depending on what kind of dorm star she is, she might not be straight either.
I can't take it. Oh man, I got real tears in my eyes right now. Because why would you think you could keep men after being a corn star?
I don't know. Being a dorm star and having countless men run through you, why would that not be appealing to any other man?
How does that work when you've been in that field for so long? And then like when you retire, like when do you retire? Like at the average job,
I've never
might work
retired.
till you're like
I'm still running through them. Yeah. But it's different for me. I'm just kidding.
No, but seriously though, like at your average job, you like I guess what's the average retirement age? Like 65 or 68 or something like that?
You know what? I bet they never even thought to ask the producer if they have benefits, if they have long term. Does this job come with a 401k? You know, I doubt that they've asked that.
It might now. Okay, 61. Okay. Oh wait. Yeah, that was from a survey in 2022. The average age was 61 years old.
If she managed her money right and went in as a young teen, and then went in through all the different types up to like the old person dorm star.
You saying that you like age into different categories of corn?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever done that. I don't think they ever even last long. I think once they're recognized, they get embarrassed and they start shutting down.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what's the average. I don't know if I can even look that up on this computer. I don't want that to be traced. What's the average age? I might have to pull that up on my phone. What's the average age of retirement for a corn star?
Well, I was gonna look up. How long do corn stars last, but that could be a different.
15 minutes. Okay, let's see. One of the biggest problems for female dorm stars in their careers is they typically begin in their early 20s and tend to be short. The typical career stretches from 6 to 18 months. So for most adult actors, they find themselves retired by age 25 and forced to pursue new avenues.
That's probably because by that point they want to like get a man, settle down, have kids.
After 6 to 18 months?
Yeah, being ran through. And then they're like, well, I'm still serving my prime, and obviously all these men love me. Yeah, I should have no problem getting a man. Well, they have no problem getting a man. It's keeping a man. No man wants to like be with a woman that was ran through by crazy dudes. Like some of them, like real hung, and then and then plastered all over the internet of them just being like, hit from every angle, you know, and then like no one wants that. No one wants to like have a woman that you would never look at her the same. I seen it was a brief documentary of this woman who went through her porn thing or whatever, and it wasn't even a regular like traditional like I guess porn stage or whatever. She wanted to be abused. She went to some like porn artist that literally abuses them. Like she signed a contract to be abused. Like she was literally like being slapped around. She was getting beat. Then she was getting like pummeled like in every hole, and then like being like deep throat so hard that she threw up. Like he wouldn't stop until she vomited. He even had like a dog bowl for her to vomit in, and then had to drink it after.
Oh man, that sounds like real intense.
Yeah, that's what she wanted. And then after that, she went on like Dr. Phil or some crap, and her boyfriend, I guess, found out about it, or she was engaged to him, or I think because then she ended up getting with this guy. She did that after a breakup. Then she got with this guy. She really liked him, got engaged or whatever. Then ended up on like Dr. Phil or some crap, and then he found out about it. He showed up on the show, whatever. He was disgusted, didn't like see her in the same way. They split up
of course
a month or two later. Yeah. And then she went back to do it a second time.
Wow. He stayed with her for a month after that?
Yeah. He's like,
I would have walked
I
off the set of Dr. Phil. What?
Yeah.
I would have walked off
that
the
would have been
set,
the perfect
bro.
time. That would have been, you have
for
the
real
setting to walk off right there. Yeah. So then she was like, yeah, I don't want people to go through what I did. But like, you literally went back to that a second time. Even after, like, obviously, like, the dude didn't want to be with you because of that. Like, why would you go back and do it twice? Women are something else. And when they think that they can, like, just, oh, I want to go and make money selling my body, it's free, it's like free money and it's fun, like it won't affect me in the future.
You see how that turned out.
Yeah, from
from your therapist opinion. Yeah, so that actually brings me to another topic that's something that's like really on the internet right now going crazy, right? So there's a podcast called No Jumper. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the guy Adam22. Yeah, so the guy Adam22 is the host. He's an atheist, and him and his wife are atheists, even though they get married under. I never understood why atheists get married, but that's another story. And then so they're in the industry together, right?
The corn?
Yeah. Oh, the corn industry, the dorm industry. They have this show called Plug Talk. So this is a good advertisement for them, I guess, talking about their show. But they basically bring women on the show and then they have threesomes. So Adam has slept with like hundreds of, I guess, a +1 or a +2, whatever you want to call it, women in his show. And then they have like this content, like OnlyFans page where you watch the interview and then you watch them have like a threesome. And it's actually like a super popular show. People love watching it.
Sounds
it's pretty
crazy.
Disturbing. Yeah. So,
in my professional opinion.
Right? Yeah, I've never watched it, but I watch his No Jumper show. So that's how like he drops like, talks about it on there or whatever. Right. And so basically they've been married for like 7 years and she's never been with another guy since they've been married. Obviously she was getting, she was having sexual activity before they were married with all types of different dudes, right? So they get married. She's been with him for 7 years and they sleep with all these hundreds of different women, right? And have threesomes and stuff. She just had her first scene with another professional dorm star. And yeah, it pretty much like broke the internet because, no one can understand why you would let your wife, who you've been with for years and have kids with, or at least a child with, why you would let her go do a solo scene with another man. And I mean, they probably grossed millions of dollars from it. So from his perspective, they're both professional actresses in that kind of world, but he's catching a lot of flack from pretty much every community, being a cuck is what they call him, or a simp,
Yeah,
to let his
cuckolding.
wife go. Yeah, to let his wife go get pounded by this other guy.
Yeah, the media is really like cranking up on saying that cuckolding is like healthy thing. It's normal. It should be everyone should try it. Like that's the new type of love in this era. Like no one should just be tied to one person. Like everyone should be like simping and cuckolding and all this stuff. And it's really disturbing and screwing up a lot of kids.
Bro, nobody understands it. Like everyone that's been on the show since, it's been a topic and a headline because every guest he brings on the show is like, damn, man, how'd you let your wife get pounded by this professional dorm star? Like, this doesn't make sense. And he justifies it by saying, no, I've slept with these hundreds of women and this and that. And this is only her first time, like, stepping out of the marriage to be with a dude without him. Yeah, man, it's
It
just
should have just
crazy.
stayed the way it was.
I mean, shoot, I guess she wanted
That's up
a
to him.
guy. Yeah, and they decided they like handpicked this guy, but it really sounded like she made the decision, like who she wanted. And he's like, yeah, this makes sense because he's like a professional and this and that. But I'm like, I wonder how much say he had in picking the guy. And then even that is still like real cringe. Like, you're gonna pick the guy that you want to bang your wife on camera for millions of dollars?
We're in a pretty messed up world, and it's getting way out of whack. And we could probably
So
make several videos on that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so basically what I was getting at with that was they just had got that Aiden Ross to bring Andrew Tate on the podcast with them. And while Tate is top G, he's like one of the most popular guys, I would say, worldwide. Like he's not as popular in the US as he is in like all of Europe. And a lot of people respect Tate. And while they were on the stream, Adam offers his wife to the top G, Andrew Tate, and says, if you want to sleep with my wife, you can. Like, I'm whatever. Giving you permission to sleep with my wife. And she's just sitting there like real awkwardly being offered to Andrew Tate. And I was like, yo, it really
Like
opens
an
up
item.
this. Yeah, but it really opens up the gate to like, okay, so she just slept with this other dude that he approved of and they signed off on it. They made the money.
Now
They're
he's over
both
here proving
professional
more
actresses.
dudes.
Now he's just offering his wife up, and she didn't even have a say in it. She's just sitting there, and he's like, you could fuck my wife if you want to, if you want, of course. And he's like, no, that's
And she
disgusting.
probably
I'm
pulled like
not.
one of these.
Pretty much, but I was like, yo, where do you draw the line? Like, now this one dude bangs your wife. Now you're just offering your wife online to this really popular guy.
Yeah, like
You
opening
know,
up doors that that just lead to long hallways of no lines. Like it just doesn't stop, doesn't end.
it doesn't
Like
end. Yeah, it doesn't
it doesn't
end. And
end.
it's like he's never like, would you want to fuck Andrew Tate, or like, would you be open to this? He's like, you can have my wife, bro. Like, and she
Yeah,
just like,
it's
she's like rocking in there in her chair, all uncomfortable, and he's just like,
oh
Andrew
sure.
Tate's like, this makes me uncomfortable. Like, this makes me really uncomfortable.
It sounded like everyone was uncomfortable except for him, the dude offering her up,
Pretty much, and he's probably
or
the one that
maybe,
should be the most uncomfortable with that.
or maybe he was nervous talking to him and thought it might have sounded good in his mind, and then said it, and then realized it became more awkward, and then tried to back it up and was like, "Oh well, I mean, you still you can, just because you had nothing
If you
left. I
want,
don't know.
it's on the
Yeah,
table.
if you want to, just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, this whole exploring your sexuality and all this stuff. That's why I don't understand why people get married, cuz like the marriage is the commitment to that other person. But like, not to say that you should do those things, but like, if you're going to, you would imagine the people not being married.
Yeah, for sure. Like marriage is a pretty serious commitment. Just you're like bonded with that one person, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I would go as far to say that's the most serious commitment you'll make in your life. Like choosing your spouse for better, for worse, till death do us part. I mean, what have you committed to that was more serious than that?
I guess here on Earth, I mean, if you was committing to like religion, that's another thing. That's
Yep.
probably a more eternal commitment that might be a little more serious than this temporary life here.
I feel that. I think people switch partners and like divorce way more than they switch their religious beliefs. It happens, but
Yeah,
not as
I'd
much.
say so.
People go from being religious to being not religious. I don't think people really. I don't know the stats on. I can look that up too, but like the stats on people going from one religion to another versus people going from being religious to being non-religious.
I mean, there's these people out here that are marrying multiple wives, and I think that became illegal, but somehow people are still marrying multiple wives. And then there's on the opposite side of the spectrum, there's women, mostly just women doing this, marrying themselves. It's I
Marrying
forget what it's
themselves.
called. Yeah, they're marrying themselves. They have a wedding with just themselves.
The Anti-Polygamy Act was passed in 1882, which is not that long ago when you're looking at like the history of what we know it to be. I wonder why that was passed.
Oh, it's a sologamy.
Sologamy. It doesn't
Yeah,
sound like something I'd want to do just from what it's called.
it seems like a pretty sad life. I mean, no one else wanted to live with you, but you got to live with you now, alone.
Yeah. And I mean, I have to look up the numbers again, but most people are depressed. Why would you think that being depressed would why would that enhance your situation when you can't really handle everyday life and then you go ahead and marry yourself, the happiest day of your life?
And yeah, how like I don't understand how it would benefit you whatsoever. I mean, would you even be able to claim any tax differences either? I don't see any benefit
Do you
in
do
it
you take
at
a
all.
honeymoon? Do you take like some solo trip
Yeah, I seen a video of a
and meet
woman
somebody
doing
new?
that, and she I think she was going on a cruise after.
Oh shit.
She met someone there and was like, "Oh no, I'm married. See, got the ring. I'm married."
This says that polygamy practiced by Mormons created issues between Mormons and non Mormons in the state of Utah, and non Mormons asked Congress to pass an act to render polygamy illegal. I feel like that's not a good reason. It just made it sound so casual, like it was that easy. Non Mormons asked Congress to pass an act, and now it's
Yeah, we
illegal.
have a problem with them. We don't
I
like what
feel
they're
like
doing.
even the way that that's phrased, though, non Mormons asked, to get this law made in place to make polygamy illegal, wouldn't that infringe on their religious beliefs, which goes against our rights?
It does sound like that. I mean, because allegedly the United States was created for you to have religious freedoms.
And then non Mormons come around and say, I don't like what you're doing in your religion, make it illegal.
Funny that they use the phrase Mormons and non-Mormons, which makes it sound like the person who wrote it was a Mormon. It just sounds that way. I mean, you would just say like, Mormons were doing this and everybody else, didn't like it.
Yeah, and they've been going door to door ever since.
If we can get enough Mormons involved, we can switch this back around.
Yeah.
Like you pounding on everyone's door. Hey.
See, I'm not a Mormon. I don't know nothing about being a Mormon. They have come to my house before, or not my house, but they've come to a house that I was at. I was with someone that had pretty strong Christian values, and they invited them in, and I listened to them kind of, I want to say go at it, but it wasn't like that, like how you would imagine somebody going at it. But they basically were like challenging each other. And then those what is it, the Sabbath, the people, I forget what that's even called, those people came too. I don't know why I was there when multiple like religious groups stopped by the house.
Sounds like you're bad luck. Every
Yeah, I
time you
don't
come
know,
over
is
my
that
house, you got these Mormons coming.
yeah, like I brought them with me secretly. Like, I'll
All right,
be
when
there at 3.
all right, you come and bang on the door. I'll back you up.
Yeah,
We gotta get this law
yeah.
passed.
How many people have really been converted from someone showing up at the house?
I don't know,
Like,
but apparently it works, or they wouldn't be doing it for all this time.
I don't know. Nah, but I don't know if we have proof that that works.
I don't know. I have.
Like,
Oh,
what's
you
the
know what? I
data?
think it's because it's part of their religion.
Do you feel like it would be like a checks and balances kind of thing though? Like some dudes, I was just watching something earlier and they were talking about Prince Harry being like the weakest man in the public and how his wife just like bosses him around, and he like left the royal family and he wrote a book about it, like exposing them and doing all this stuff to please his wife. And then he's still in therapy and he probably could use a conversation with you.
I think that they just keep trying to get more money from all kinds of publicity, like good or bad, and they just want to keep complaining about being left alone so that more people will pay attention to them and they'll get more money.
But you're in the royal family, right? No one is going to give a shit about how hard you have it. Like, bro, like your problems that you have as a regular man in society trying to work your
But they
way up the
still get
ladder.
publicity. It's not good, but they still get it, and they're still getting money, and they're still on the covers of magazines. They're still on YouTube channels. They're being talked about. They're on talk shows. They're on Oprah. They're on Dr. Phil or whatever. I don't know if they were on Dr. Phil, but they probably should be. I
Bro, he was
don't
doing
know.
this breathing. I seen this clip of him doing this breathing exercise, bro. He's like this. He's like tapping his shoulders. He's like,
I don't even
bro,
like that.
on TV, bro. Like, and it was one of his tips that he learned in therapy. And they're like, he's so brave. I was like, what the fuck did he do? How is that bravery? Why is that? Why is
I'm
that
brave
the
too.
face?
Look, I'm just as brave
Yeah.
as you.
Why is that the face of bravery right now? I don't understand that. How is that brave? You're some weak, frail guy who needs to be doing these like therapy practices mid interview. Why is that the face of bravery? That's what bravery
And
is
and
nowadays.
he never had to work in a day in his life. His all he had to do was grow up a spoiled prince. Never had to work, and then when he left, they still gave him millions, like millions and millions of dollars, and it wasn't. I think it was like 40 million, and he cried because it was only 40 million.
Like, bro, what
Because
do you
they're
want?
worth way more than that.
We have
You
different kind
know,
of problems. Like I don't see
yeah.
that as a problem. I really don't see how that's a
Well, it was a
problem.
problem to him because he was used to like this high of a lifestyle, and now he has to live this high of a lifestyle. And we're all like off the screen, way down here. You
And
can't see it, but
but
I'm
like,
moving my hand. I'm like this down here.
yeah, your hands on the
We're
floor.
way down here. Yeah, we're down there. You know what I mean?
but still the general public is still like, man, I really feel bad for Prince Harry, and they're like tuned into all this stuff. He's writing a book exposing the royal family for profit, and nobody even
Yeah,
likes a snitch, bro. No one likes a snitch, even when you're like, because you were involved in all of this, right? That would be like the
no one
equivalent
likes
of,
him. I don't
no,
know
people
anyone
do.
who likes
I
him.
would say I don't know. Let me. What's the stats? Do people like? As it's a general Google search. Do people like Prince Harry?
I think it's mostly like media putting them in the spotlight because, I mean, if you were a journalist, you want, to put famous people like them, on blast because that's your job. You want to try to get anything you can get.
So it looks like he was above 50%. I think this is American Opinion. He's dropped 23% down from 30% in December 2022.
I don't know where they even get these numbers.
It's like a poll that they take in the US.
I've
I
never
don't
taken
know.
a poll.
I wouldn't take it. I will bash him on my podcast, but I wouldn't take a survey about it.
You see all these statistics, but you never see like, where they're sourcing it from. You never hear anyone ever talk about, like, never anyone talking about it or hearing about it.
Right.
Anybody ever
The
like
survey data just
revealing?
populates out of nowhere, basically.
Yeah,
They probably use
and,
like artificial intelligence to like go through all the tweets and Facebook posts and shit to see what people are
yeah,
saying. Like, is this tweet favorable to
probably.
Prince Harry, or like how many people are bashing him right now out of all Twitter users?
And even at that same rate, they could make like fake accounts that like Harry and add that to the statistics.
I don't know why you would do that, but I'm sure it happens.
Sure that they do stuff just to change numbers for whatever reason.
And those pages though, now that you say that, those pages with like no profile picture, they always have the most to say. So
Yeah, oh, yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah, I think they do stuff like that to help, like, with psyops and changing people's like opinions on, like, if everyone else likes it, then I maybe I should like it too.
Yeah, psyops is a hell of a drug.
Don't take it.
I feel like especially for like kids or just younger people, especially that like that whole fitting in and still finding your identity as a person, like who you are as a person when you haven't been through too much yet. I feel like you're much more susceptible to what everyone else believes, even if it's a lie or even if it's like not good for people, or just the list goes on of stuff that you might believe that's not true.
Yeah, I mean, when you grow up being taught something, your mind's not fully developed. You don't even understand or comprehend why you're even being told this. You just believe that it's true because everyone told you that it was true.
I can think of at least like 20 different things.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, growing up, like, there's people that believe that if you swallow watermelon seeds, a watermelon will grow in your belly. It's something dumb like that. Just something so simple.
But on the watermelon thing, they use that agenda to force these GMO what is it, cloned watermelons. They're seedless. Every watermelon's
Yeah,
seedless now, bro. Like you used to have a choice. Do you want
yeah.
seeds in your watermelon or not? Now there's just no seeds in any of the watermelons ever.
And now you can't plant your own. Not for free
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Not off the watermelon you bought.
basically.
You got to go buy seeds, which also
Right.
won't produce seeds.
Basically, that is a crazy concept. You want to end it? You want to diagnose me with something? That's a whole nother
Yeah, I think
topic
you're I
too.
think you're diagnosed as a night owl.
Yeah, I seen this thing about therapists. Where do you guys get this information from? Because you'll say that someone's like, so like alcoholism, right? They'll be like, well, this guy's an alcoholic because his dad was an alcoholic. And then in the same family, the other brother is not an alcoholic because his dad was an alcoholic.
Yeah, because he was like repulsed by it, and the other kid, probably tried it, embraced it, and was like, "Oh, I like how this feels," and oh well, my dad did it, so it's probably not that bad, and everyone tells me that now I have a disease, so I'll blame the disease on how much I'm drinking, and that'll give me an excuse to keep drinking, and you just perpetually fall and you can't get back up, and then you're stuck because people tell you that it's not your fault.
Pretty much. And I seen this poll that said like one out of two people, like one out of every two people has ADHD.
Dang.
But I'm like, bro,
Well,
you know how easy it is to be diagnosed with something? I could
be like,
go in the doctors right
oh,
now.
I have ADHD now. I'm like looking around
Yeah.
the room, can't pay attention.
Yeah. But like
Give
I
me
could go into the
pills.
doctors. I could go in the doctors right now and like advocate that I have something wrong with me and they'll diagnose me with something and that's just what it's going to be.
Yeah, because doctors are always right. And as soon as they leave the room with you, the part that you don't see is them going over to their little cubicle, getting on their computer, and looking up on ChatGPT. What
Yeah, and Google
guy
searching what you
says
got.
he has this? What might it be? Okay, see a list of things. Oh, he's got ADHD. I'll give him. I'll give him some
Yeah,
medicine.
ADHD has the best SEO. We're gonna go with that. When he looks it up at home, he probably saw the same search results, and that's what we're gonna go with.
So I'll just confirm it, and we'll all be satisfied.
I feel like
So
doctors want ratings just like a restaurant wants ratings. Like you drop me a 5-star review when you go home after you start taking your meds.
yeah, it happens all the time. You know, guys will go into the doctors saying like they have low testosterone, you know, and when they're like in their like, you know, later 30s or something like that. And, you know, they want to try to like stay healthy and in the gym and their sex drive and all of that. And instead of like recommending them to go like to a specialist that handles like you building up your testosterone naturally or like maybe starting you on like something and like helping you work your way up to like, you know, producing your own testosterone and meal plans and all this healthy stuff. They're like, oh, you know what? You probably just need some testosterone replacement. You know, we'll give you this test. You know, some artificial testosterone, and you come in for your shot, or you can do it yourself, and then you'll just have to take this for the rest of your life. And you might have to keep amping it up because your body will get used to it. You know, and then they'll tell you that you can only take a certain amount every so often. And then by the time that your body's coming off of the testosterone, you're going through this mood swing where you're like, you know, you're getting all depressed because now you're like low testosterone. And then it's like, well, now it's time for my shot. Take this shot. Then you're like, not, you know, it takes a little, you know, a couple days worth to actually function, and then you're back up here, then you're high, happy, you know, like feeling good, pumped up, going to the gym, you know, happy go lucky guy until it like wears by then, you know, you're a constant roller coaster. Like I've seen guys like that. And then and like it's terrible. It's a terrible way to live.
Then they get you on the antidepressants while you're down.
Yeah, you gotta double it up. You
Yeah.
know, don't forget to give me a 5-star review. I will make you happy. I'll give you happy pills and happy juice. Stop looking around the room. I'll give you pills for that too.
Right,
ADHD. You gotta,
ADHD. You'll leave here with like
yeah.
5 prescriptions.
You'll
Your
be
insurance
focused
company
and
will love you.
happy.
Yeah, my grandma was like that where she was like what do they call it? Like a hypochondriac. She wanted some kind of ailment, something to be wrong with her as it was like the next conversation or like then you're literally taking pills to counteract the side effects from your other pills. The next thing you know, you're taking 30 pills a day.
And you got one of them big old pill box cases for like
Yep,
Monday
with
through
the Monday
Friday
through
that are like
Sunday.
this
Yeah.
wide and this long and they're like that deep.
It's like a pencil box.
Yeah, you gotta like open this thing up and pour out all the pills. You need like a whole water bottle to like try to get them all down. Yeah, man, like down might need 2 or 3 water bottles to get all them down.
You got to take it on a time schedule and your whole day's mapped out.
Oh man, that would be terrible. It's like, oh, okay, I need to take the red one at 2 and the green one at 3, but then I need to take this one with a meal and this one without. It's like, so I can't eat at 3, but I can eat at 2. But that I don't know. That might counteract my vitamin D pill.
Yeah. I feel like
I
that's
don't
where
know.
they want at least Americans to be. I feel like they want them to be in this real
Oh yeah,
docile state of pill popping, taking
yeah.
pills to offset your other pills and just keep you in that cycle where you're like totally dependent on the doctors and the healthcare system.
Pharma, all of that, and they make sure that they hire like alleged scientists to come up with these statistics, like we were talking about before, studies on herbal medicine and herbal remedies, which are, you know, put here for us to use and work very well and have been working well for thousands of years, that people just don't even know about anymore. It's forgotten. Like we're also trained to think that the herbs are bad, like not just like for you, but bad in general to even be in your lawn. Like dandelions, like people kill dandelions because they're like, oh, that's hideous. I can't have them in my lawn. Like they're so bad. But dandelions are like a huge um, benefit for common cold or any type of cold that you might have. you eat dandelions to kill the cold. And that's just one herb that's just growing in your yard that you have as medicine to fight, a cold. There's like anything else that you have going on with you, like, there's so much like peppermint oil, not like, or just peppermint. If you have peppermint in your lawn, or if you grow herbal peppermint, like that's for inflammation. There's, so much stuff for like pain, inflammation, cold. You can have a whole like natural herbal pharmacy in your backyard instead of going to big pharma and taking these pills that counteract with pills that counteract with other pills that like you have to take at certain times with certain meals or without meals or with so much water and and then messing you up and you can't walk up the steps and your back hurts and this thing is doing this and that and like you ruin your day and then you're grumpy, you want people to feel bad for you, you have this whole thing going on, you can't go outside, the sunlight affects your skin because of the pill that you took, made it so you can't take sunlight, so now you need vitamin D also, and all this other stuff. It's like, man, it's like you could have just took some herbs and been fine. you know?
Yeah, and it never ends. And they make it seem like the people that do resort to natural medicine
you're
are
this
these
crazy
crazy
hippie.
hippies that are so out there.
Yeah,
They're on
yeah,
shrooms
you psycho.
24/7. They're just
Like, oh, like
hallucinating.
you like some kind of weirdo out here, like eating grass, eating grass, smoking grass, eating shrooms. Like,
Right.
whack job. You probably go to a natural doctor and a chiropractor too. You freak. What do you go? You go to church? You're weird. You
Right.
know. Yeah, you're Mormon. You have
You a
8 wives.
Mormon? Yeah, you some kind of non-Mormon? we should write Congress and just tell them we don't
You got to
like
get this
that and get
passed.
that
I
law
don't feel like going
passed.
door to door with the Mormons, but it'd be fun if we see some Mormons just tag along, like, yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm gonna try to get that law passed. You know what I'm saying?
Yo. Well, I appreciate your expertise on your herbal medicines. Something for people to look up and look into, and not just believe everything that they've been told or seen or indoctrinated
Yeah, I
with.
take all kinds of herbal medicines. I have a whole like rack of, I don't even know, like extracts, tincture type things. They all taste nasty. Like herbal medicine tastes horrible. Like your taste buds are just so used to the food today that, like, with the sugars, everything has to be sweet. Like tomato sauce is full of sugar. I like if you buy milk, even organic milk, a lot of times they're putting sugar in milk. I bought some. I mistakenly bought milk with sugar in it. I had no idea. Like I seen some organic milk. I like organic. I usually buy goat milk. I like goat milk, but they were out. I got organic cow milk, brought it home, was drinking it. It's like, oh, that's different. Like, oh, I mean, it's cow milk, so I've been drinking goat milk, so whatever. A couple of days went by. I'm like, there's something really different about this. I want to see what it is. I read the back. It had 12 grams of sugar in it. I don't know per however much, but I just seen it had 12. I'm like, they're even putting sugar in milk. I guess to have let kids drink milk with sugar in it so that they'll drink the milk. I don't know, sugar in literally everything. So then when you
Yeah.
go and you taste like herbal stuff, like
Yep.
herbs, it tastes awful. Like you really have to get used to it. You have to take herbs for like a whole month before your taste buds actually get kind of used to it and you're like, okay, it's not so bad anymore. Like I'm used to it. Like I know what it's like, I take them and you're okay. But it's really sad. People don't even want to try herbs because of that.
All right, so we're gonna end there. Might have to do a lot of post production and cut out the inappropriate stuff. I don't need to cut out the podcast. I'll see you
Peace.
on the other side. I'll see you next time.